Hey folks, today is Friday, June 14th, 2024. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. And in terms of video game news this week, it's all Summer Game Fest, Xbox, all this gaming news stuff. So I'm back home here now after the dust has settled, and we're going to do a little bit of a roundup, a little bit of a look back. Of course, we did do a bunch of videos on a lot of the reveals if you already want to see those broken down, but I'm just going to kind of cover the top hits, some things I found interesting, some things I played, because there's a lot to talk about, because like Summer Game Fest wasn't just the Jeff Keighley live presentation and then the Xbox thing. There was a bunch of stuff going on, a lot of new games. So check out those videos if you want to learn more, but we'll keep it top level, I think, and just start with some of the main things I really liked. Starting from like the Jeff Keighley presentation, it was Civilization 7 for me. The reveal of that is great. We don't know anything about it, but I'm glad it's coming. But unfortunately, this wasn't the Mafia or BioShock 4 or whatever reveal that people were hoping for. I guess we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that. Power Rangers Rita's Rewind is like a retro style Power Rangers beat 'em up game. I just love beat 'em up games, so this is good to see return. Blumhouse announced a whole slate of kind of indie horror style games that they're supporting, from lo-fi kind of adventure games to first-person shooter horror games. There's a lot of interesting stuff coming from them. Neva looks like a really cool kind of artsy experience. It's from the people behind Gris, but this looks like this has a bit more gameplay to it, some more action adventure style stuff, but definitely with a charming creature that I hope they don't kill at the end. What is it? It's like a deer or something? I don't know. I feel like that's not going to end well. It's going to be designed to break my heart. I don't know. And then that presentation ended with Phantom Blade Zero, a new trailer, more details, and I did get to play it. I played a good amount of this game, and I was really into it. It's not really as much as a Souls-like as some people were expecting. It's kind of got a mix of Ninja Gaiden and Devil May Cry to it. It's a bit faster. It's a bit more flashier. It has mechanics that emphasize weapon switching mid-combos. And yes, those animations are long and convoluted, and you can get locked into some of them sometimes, but essentially the game is seemingly a pretty linear adventure where you're going through areas with enemies and stuff like that, but then lots of boss battles. And I got to engage in a lot of those boss battles, and I found them to be the best parts of this game. There's a lot of weird, interesting weapons you can take advantage of, and I just remember when this game was revealed, I wasn't convinced that it was actually a real game, but now after playing it, at least, it seems like it is a thing, and it's cool. Along with that, Ubisoft had a presentation that was mostly just updates on stuff that we already knew about. We got an update on the Sands of Time remake. Apparently it's still being made after, you know, all the rumors of development hell and studio switching and stuff like that. But now it's years away. Along with that, we got an in-depth look at Assassin's Creed Shadows. And then me personally, behind the scenes, I got to see like double that amount of gameplay running in real time in front of me at like a presentation thing. So I got to see a lot more. And all I can say is that I'm not into this. I'm not really feeling it yet. I've been very hard on the last couple of Assassin's Creed games. I'm like the Assassin's Creed hater now. As someone who's been playing from the beginning, it feels weird to say that, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it's yet really taking advantage of the setting. And after seeing other games in that setting already, like those games kind of kick this game's ass. I don't know. There's still a lot of questions I have. I'm gonna judge it fully when I get my hands on it. But my, early impressions of it, it's obviously a work in progress, but still, I'm not sure yet. And then interestingly enough, the game I was more worried about, Star Wars Outlaws, I actually found to be quite a bit of fun. To me, it felt like a Star Wars 1313. It's a very Nathan Drake-y style third-person action-adventure game where you're running, jumping, climbing, shooting, doing a lot of standard video game stuff, but it just was fun and entertaining. Getting a little bit more time with the protagonist, I found her a little bit more appealing. Walking around Star Wars worlds that are just kind of open world style, but, kind of mellow. It was pretty interesting. The combat is pretty solid, if simple. I got to play this one for a while. I got to experience like different aspects of the game. I got to play through like a ship battle in space. That was pretty interesting. And then also that ship, I was able to fly to a planet, and then there'd be like a kind of cutscene transition, and then the plane would land on the surface. Nice to see that. So yeah, I'll talk about that more in videos soon, but that was generally the whole Ubisoft thing. And then the Xbox thing. The Xbox thing is, of course, the thing that people are talking about, like Xbox One, this new E3. Xbox finally responded to PlayStation kicking their ass. Like there's all these console war conversations, but regardless, for me, I was just waiting for things to play from Xbox, and they're finally showing off a lot more of that. Doom the Dark Ages is coming this year, and it looks absolutely badass. The rumors were true. It's like a medieval themed style Doom game where you're the Doom Slayer earlier in time, and you got all these weird, crazy weapons. It looks sick. We got another look at Fable, although I'm a little disappointed because I still don't know what this game is. I need to see more from it. Like, am I making a character? Is it even an RPG? What's going on here? Claire Obscure Expedition 33 looks like an awesome kind of big budget turn-based RPG, giving me Final Fantasy VIII vibes mixed with like Persona and Dishonored. I don't know, it's a really cool mix, mashup. You don't really see games like this that often anymore, but I'm definitely keeping my eye on it because people always want unique games, right? Well, here's one. Killer Bean is still a thing. It looks absolutely over the top and silly, and a game that is just like very much for me. Stalker 2 has a seemingly final release date, and I also got to get my hands on that. I got to play about a half hour of it or so. I didn't get to do too much, and that's a hard game to cram in an experience in 30 minutes. If you played the original, you know. I found it to feel kind of old, but not in a bad way. It's not this flashy, glitzy new first-person shooter with like high budget. It still kind of feels a lot like the older Stalker games. It still looks much better graphically, but like it's just got that like not hyper polished feel to it. It's got some charm to it. It's maybe even got some flaws to it. But essentially I got to go around, do some experiments on some anomalies, shoot a couple of enemies, wrestle with my inventory a little bit. It wasn't really a good experience in 30 minutes, but I got to see the game running. Everything's like seems like it's going okay, so I'll judge it fully when it releases. Jumping over here real quick to talk about footwear. What if a shoe could let you go anywhere, do anything? Well, that's the sponsor of this video, Vessi. Now, if you're new around here, Vessi is the longtime sponsor of the show that we've been recommending forever now. It's our go-to dependable footwear. They have comfy styles and shapes for every type of person. And the most important thing is that all their products are 100% waterproof. It's really awesome. With summer here, I personally have been trying to touch grass occasionally, you know, go near the water, go for a hike. And Vessi's kicks have been keeping me ready for anything, but specifically the Stormburst Low Top. I think this is my favorite shoe by far. It's one of their newer ones, but it's really durable, really versatile. It's got some extra grip on the bottom. If you want to go on adventures, I've taken them on hikes. I've had these things covered in mud, but since they're waterproof, you just blast them with water and they're clean and they're good to go. These also I've gotten the most compliments on. Most importantly, though, they're comfortable. So if you want to experience summer with complete freedom, splashing around, doing whatever you want, all you got to do is click the link in the description down below or head to vessi.com/gameranx. Over there, you get an instant 15% off your first order upon checkout. So once again, that's vessi.com/gameranx for a 15% hookup, and big thanks to Vessi for sponsoring our videos. We also got a look at Perfect Dark. I wasn't expecting to see this game be revealed anytime soon because of the rumors of development hell, and it just seeming like it's a project that's going to take a long time, but we got a glimpse. It's like super edited gameplay, but it's gameplay apparently doesn't look very real to me, but I don't know, like I'm just being bitchy. This does look cool conceptually. I like it going all in on more of a spy immersive sim style game than just a first person shooter, because we have enough of those. So for this to try and think a little differently with things, I'm interested. Also, for you nerds out there, Age of Mythology Retold. Xbox and Microsoft have been doing the Age games and like re-releasing them, remastering them, whatever, for so long. And so many people have been asking for Age of Mythology Retold for so long now. And so many people have been asking for Age of Mythology re-release. So Age of Mythology Retold is what a lot of people have been asking for. I've seen it in our comments as well, and it's pretty awesome. I got to play this for about 20 minutes or so, and they've really opened up the godly powers. It's not really just like a one-time use thing now. There's a way to kind of gain them and continually use them throughout a match, and it was really, really satisfying. This is still a work in progress, but I think if you were into the original, if you have that nostalgia, they're doing a pretty good job here, especially visually, with it feeling similar but better. Also, I'm running out of time to really cram everything in, but Gears of War E-Day was revealed. This is an of War Gears of War game, and it's a prequel to the original Gears of War games, centered around Marcus Phoenix and Dom. So this is great. They're coming home from the Pendulum Wars. The E-Day is happening, so they're experiencing this for the first time. Lore-wise, I think this is a really good place to place the series, like the next game. I'm really excited for this one. Obviously, it's kind of nostalgia, but it feels right. So those are some things I played, some things I enjoyed that were announced, but also just some of the big heavy hitters, some of the headline stuff, of course, with Xbox really dominating a lot of that for people. There's more stuff, of course, so the whole breakdown, I will link those in the description down below, as well as some videos where I talk about some stuff separately. But some other things you shouldn't miss is that after the events, Konami released a Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta remake, whatever you want to call it, breakdown video that highlights different gameplay styles that the game is going to have, a legacy mode and a new mode with different camera styles, apparently a different kind of retro filter, some little snippets of detail, a little bit more gameplay here and there. If you want to check that out, I will link that as well as everything else in the description down below. And I know I haven't really gone on record yet about Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. I'm going to play it. I'm going to see how it is. You know, I got to just like relax and not be like an annoying Hideo Kojima fan for once. Even if I'm like old and jaded and skeptical, cynical about some of this stuff, there are players coming to Metal Gear Solid for the first time, and I got to just kind of cheer that on. Also, we got gameplay, lengthy gameplay for BioWare's new game, the Dragon Age The Veilguard. There's a lot of gameplay here you can see. I will link the whole thing in the description down below. I am not a good judge on this because I'm not really the biggest Dragon Age person. I love the first one, but we've come so far since then. There's a lot of news coming out about this one in terms of like being able to romance any companion you want. The game really being focused around those companions, really leaning on the strengths of some of the previous games. But I don't know, it seems like opinions have been kind of mixed on this one, so let me know what you think in the comments. Also, of course, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 got a lengthy reveal and all that stuff, but some of the news that came out about that was the install size. There was stuff circulating online with somebody seeing a store listing that Black Ops 6 was going to be 309 gigabytes on consoles, which is absolutely insane. Call of Duty install sizes are already massive, and this just takes the cake, right? Well, they've clarified that that is not actually the case. Activision did say that, hey, that install size you saw actually included Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 as well, like all that content stuff. So it's still going to be a shit ton. Like, these games are just ridiculously bloated and massive, both content-wise and just like, you know, the storage vault. So it's still going to be big, but not 309 gigabytes, because that is just... what? Also, I got to bring this up. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago when it made headlines, but another brave journalist dared to ask the question and got a little more out of him. Miyazaki, the head of From Software, the creator of like Dark Souls and Bloodborne and stuff, went on record about Bloodborne again. When asked if he personally would like to see a Bloodborne PC port, he said, and I quote, via PC Gamer, "I know for a fact these guys want a Bloodborne PC port," and he pointed to like his producers behind him. He says, "If I say I want one, I'll get in trouble as well, but it's nothing I'm opposed to." He also said, "Obviously, as one of the creators of Bloodborne, my personal pure honest opinion is I'd love more players to be able to enjoy it, especially as a game that is now coming of age, one of those games of the past that gets lost on older hardware. I think any game like that, it'd be nice to have an opportunity for more players to be able to experience that and relive this relic of the past. So as far as I'm concerned, that's definitely not something I'd be opposed to." There you have it. Miyazaki definitely wants a Bloodborne PC version or a re-release or whatever. Is it going to happen? Who knows? But hopefully Sony or whoever are listening to this man's words. Also, he was at Summer Game Fest, and at one point, I'm pretty sure I was like in the same room as him, but I didn't see him, and damn, I missed out. Maybe next time. But also, just random things releasing this week. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, this re-release is out if you want to get into that. Also, we got a new trailer and like gameplay for Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. This is like the re-release update of the 2012 Lollipop Chainsaw game, which was like one of the first games I reviewed, believe it or not. One of the first games I remember getting a review copy for, back when they used to send those in the mail. This game wasn't like that great, but it had some creative elements to it. James Gunn was actually behind a lot of it, so that's like some fun history. Now we know this is releasing September 25th, if this is some sort of weird game you want to revisit. This got kind of lost in the shuffle of everything else, so I figured I'd mention this, as well as Fallen Aces. This is from New Blood, the people behind stuff like Dusk and Medieval. They make really cool, fun, kind of experimental style first-person games. Fallen Aces is that gorgeous kind of mob-style game we've been talking about for a while. This is releasing today, so there you go. Have fun. Apparently it's only like $10, so I'm going to try and play it this weekend. But there you have it. I know we had to cram in a lot, but unfortunately I have to get back to work and work on some other things behind the scenes, some before you buy videos and, you know, for some games you might be interested to hear about. But I also need another cup of coffee if you can't tell. So let me know in the comments what you think about everything going on this week. Of course, with Xbox. Did Xbox win Summer Game Fest? Do you think they're like beating PlayStation now? Are you into that console war stuff or no? What do you think about Metal Gear Solid 3, the remake? What do you think about Call of Duty Black Ops 6? What do you think about all the announcements? Is there something I didn't have time to talk about that you were interested in? Let me know. Let's talk about any of this stuff down in the comments. Of course, we'll be down there as much as possible, but if you want to yell at me directly, find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, at Jake Baldino. I'll be posting a bunch of stuff I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of like collaborations and showing up on other people's shows and stuff. So if you want to see that, I'll be posting about that. But thank you guys for being here, getting caught up on the news every Friday. Again, hope you checked out our other two Summer Game Fest roundups. But that's it. Back to work for me. I'm Jake Baldino. All I ask is that you have a great weekend. Be safe. Pizza's on me.